Hello, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is the next episode in my 5 meals for under £25 series that I'm running, creating 5 different meals for up to 4 people or for around 4 people, sometimes more, all for under £25. So far, all of the groceries are always from ALDI. Budget meal plan to follow along with. It gives you new recipe ideas, new meal inspiration, and most of all, it helps you to save money, especially at this time of year. It's a long running series. Today's video is the next episode and it's going to be my Fakeaway meals. So I released the haul a few days ago, which I've linked here, and today's video you're going to see all of those recipes being made. I'm really excited because I've had such a great week of cooking these meals. Some of my favourite meals are Fakeaways, which are like homemade takeaways. I do love a takeaway, but I also love creating my own. Because you save loads of money, it's often probably a lot better for you. It's not as hard as you think it will be. So yeah, we've got some great recipes coming up. If you're not already, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see any more in this long running series. I don't know what idea to do next. I might do like a Christmas festive 5 for under 25. If you want to see that, let me know. We're kicking the week off by making homemade pizzas tonight. I'm so excited. Homemade pizzas from scratch, including the dough base. So much easier than you think. It's very, very fun to do, especially if you've got children. Okay, it's homemade pizza recipe time. I absolutely love making homemade pizzas. It's something we probably do at least once or twice a month. We really enjoy it, and yeah, it's easier than you think. So the first thing you need to do is get about 325 mils of warm water. This is actually the most difficult part of the whole process, in my opinion. You have to get the water temperature right for the yeast to activate. So I always get it for around 29 to 30 degrees. And once you've got it to that temperature, just mess around with the warm tap and the cold tap. Once you've got it to that temperature, you need to add it into a mixing bowl with your flour and the yeast. Stir the yeast into the water first, just so the yeast is fully stirred in, and then mix it in with your plain or strong white bread flour. Now you can hand knead this, it's absolutely fine, so just mix it all together with your hands until it forms a stretchy looking dough, sort of like this. I always add a bit of extra virgin olive oil into the mixture as well, just because it gives it a really, really nice flavour and golden touch when you're cooking it later on. So once it's fully mixed and it's a bit of a stretchy dough, you want to cover it up and leave. So my house is fairly warm in the kitchen, so I left this for about an hour and a half and it had tripled in size, I believe. So that's kind of what you're aiming for, triple in size. Once it got to that point, I uncovered it and then I just pushed it around again. I use the mixer, but you can just use your hands. Just push it all around again, and it looks like it deflates, but it doesn't really. And once you pushed it around, leave it again for around 30 minutes to proof, and this is when I start cooking everything else. So I've got my tomato base sauce on the go, so that's just 1 tin of tomatoes. I add in mixed herbs, a pinch of salt, a pinch of sugar, and essentially that's it. Maybe a little bit of pepper. And what you want to do is you want to cook this on high for about 10 minutes or maybe a little bit longer, and it just thickens the sauce up. It gets rid of all the watery stuff and it becomes a pizza sauce. Basically that's what you're doing here. So once your pizza sauce has thickened up properly, you want to put it aside in a cold bowl. You want that pizza sauce to completely cool down before adding it to your dough. So leave it aside and then you can get on with everything else. I'm chopping up all the veggies because I'm going to be making 1 veggie supreme pizza and 1 kind of pepperoni slash veggie pizza as well. So this dough, you can make 4 smaller pizzas or 2 big pizzas like I'm making, and it's great the next day warmed up. We have it for dinner and then some for lunch the next day, and it's fantastic. So if you don't have like a pizza tray or something like that, I use the back of a normal baking tray. I just cover it all with parchment, and yeah, using the back of the tray is great because it means you have a bit more of a bigger surface and the pizza isn't sinking down into the baking tray. Make sure it's nice and greased, the parchment paper so the dough comes off when it's cooked, and just get rolling. Roll out the dough into a large rectangle. You can use your hand, you can use a rolling pin. And these are the ingredients I'm using, so red onion, mushrooms, sweet corn, peppers, and definitely mozzarella. So the mozzarella is easy, just drain it, put it in a bowl, and then we're going to tear it. So now the tomato sauce has completely cooled down, I'm going to start spreading it onto the dough base. Now I love lots of tomato sauce on a pizza, but you really want to go thin with this because it can make your dough soggy. Oh, spot my toddler just, you know, using the sweet corn as a stress ball right there. But you don't want your dough to go soggy underneath, you want it to properly cook. So you really do not need to add a lot of this tomato sauce. The tomato sauce actually makes great pasta. You can save it in the fridge for up to 2 days and use it as a pasta sauce on another day. But yeah, just try not to add too much tomato sauce. A little goes a long way with the tomato sauce. I add my veggies, so red onion, loads of sweet corn, mushrooms, and finally I add and peppers, and then finally I add the cheese. So with mozzarella you can actually tear it quite well. It goes a bit further that way, and you can kind of like put extra cheesy bits somewhere, and yeah, so I used 1 mozzarella ball per pizza because it's quite big pizza. Look how good that pizza's looking, ready for the oven. Essentially the same thing, but with pepperoni slices for an alternative pizza. Actually these are chorizo slices because ALDI didn't have pepperoni at the time, but they kind of work the same. Add my cheese, and then they're going to go into the oven for between 10 to 15 minutes at around 180 to 200 degrees Celsius. It really differs to how you like it. We like it just golden. Some people like it really golden, some people don't like it too cooked, but there you go. These pizzas were absolutely delicious, and there was an absolute winner. I found a Domino sauce left over in the fridge, so I got to eat the veggie pizza with Domino sauce, and it was blooming delicious. Let me tell you, it's absolutely worth the effort. It's really easy to make your own pizza, and I 100% recommend you trying this recipe. A super simple one. Okay, this is my Indian fakeaway. We're going to be having butter chicken with a side of sagaloo, some rice and a naan bread. I absolutely love making curry at home. Indian is actually my favourite style of takeaway, but it's so expensive where I am. It is definitely worth the money, but it's not something I can order like every 2 weeks. There is no way. Anyway, so first thing you're going to do is get a large mixing bowl. We're going to marinate our chicken. You can do this first thing in the morning or at least an hour before cooking. So you want to add your chicken into a bowl along with the yogurt and seasoning. So add your cumin, your chili powder. Now if you just have curry powder in the cupboard, just use that instead of all the other ones I'm using. I didn't have any curry powder left, but I did have all the like different elements of curry powder. You would just want to add a tablespoon of curry powder in the case if you just have curry powder. Mix it all together. You can add salt at this stage. Mix it all together and let that marinade covered in the fridge for at least an hour. Meanwhile, I'm going to turn my slow cooker on and get everything else in the slow cooker. So my chopped white onions. I'm also going to chop up the garlic. When you slice garlic, it becomes a little bit more flavourful. If you crush it, it's a bit more of a mild flavour, but I'm slicing it so I can really taste it. Then you want to add your big knob of butter into this slow cooker. Let that warm, get your chicken stock ready. Now I'm going to add the actual curry seasoning into the slow cooker. So I use fenugreek, that's completely optional. I just have it in the cupboard so I use it. I also use ginger, turmeric, garam masala and cumin. So put that all in the slow cooker, and then after at least an hour put your chicken into the slow cooker. I'm going to be cooking on high for around 3 hours max, to be honest. Give it all a really, really good stir and then close the lid and cover your slow cooker. I'm actually really sad watching this back because since filming this video, my toddler accidentally broke the slow cooker. So yeah, I'm really sad. I need to like replace the ceramic bowl. Anyway, later on in the day, I come down to prepare the sagaloo. So you're going to peel, wash your potatoes, and you're going to cut them into little 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre squares, just like little cubes, ready for frying. You're going to fry them into some butter or vegetable oil. So put them into hot oil, and you just want to season them with lots and lots of cumin, and if you have it, some coriander, ground coriander, and salt. So let those fry for about 10 minutes on high. Meanwhile, I've washed my spinach and I've chopped up an onion. I'm using a red onion, so throw in a red onion to the dish at this point. And then I'm going to add my heaped teaspoon of turmeric and a bit more coriander, ground coriander, and some garlic. Obviously, I'm going to throw some garlic in there. Garlic goes with everything in my opinion. And now I'm going to add my washed spinach. I add so much spinach into this dish because when you cook spinach, it literally wilts to nothing, as you can see here. So it doesn't matter, like you can add lots and lots and lots, and it's really delicious. Anyway, after that's been cooking for a little while, give it a really, really good stir, and then in total you want to be cooking this for about 20 to 30 minutes on medium heat on the stove. If you want to be extra bougie, you can add a little bit of cream into this dish, but I don't, but you can. And then, do you know what I'm going to do? Put on a lovely mulled wine, because a mulled wine goes very well with a curry in my opinion. To be fair, mulled wine goes well with anything. So this day I was cooking a mulled wine as well. I was warming up a mulled wine, and my curry's ready. It's such a low maintenance, easy dinner. I did cook the rice. I'm not showing you how I cook the rice because I show you all the time how I do that, and I don't want to like bore you. But if you do need to see how to cook rice in the microwave, just watch one of my previous videos. I've linked it down below. So serve up your sagaloo. I've just got some naan breads that I picked up from ALDI. I always have naan bread sitting in the freezer, and Lawrence and I normally just share a naan bread rather than have one each. And I have a big dollop of mango chutney with mine, and it's absolutely blooming delicious with a glass of wine. Oren was in bed. We did this on a Friday night, and it was just great. Like it was a lovely, lovely fakeaway. Okay, we're going to make our Nando's fakeaway, or like peri peri chicken wrap things fakeaway. The camera doesn't do this dinner justice. This is honestly like one of my favourite dinners to make. So we've got our coleslaw, homemade chips, peri peri chicken, peas. Oh, it's just so good. Right, first thing you're going to do is get the chicken ready. So I just put it on a lined tray with some olive oil, some peri peri salt, and a little bit of cumin powder actually. And then I give it a really big squeeze with some lemon juice. Now it's completely optional, but if you do have it, putting a little bit of oregano with this dish actually really works well. Then I mixed it all together and cut the chicken up into large chunks, and I'm going to cook that for 20-ish minutes, or until it's fully cooked on 200 degrees Celsius. Cutting my chips up, I normally use my chip cutter, but we wanted thick skin on fries today. Found it easier just to use a knife, and I cut my chips up. I just put some olive oil with them and some peri peri salt. Now I'm going to get my coleslaw ready. Coleslaw is super duper simple to make, and it's actually one of the most delicious sides you can make for a dinner. I usually make a big bulk, and then throughout that week we eat it on the sides of our lunches and dinners, and it's just an easy, yummy salad. So first thing you want to do is wash and chop your red cabbage. So I've used about 1/3 of a large red cabbage, and then you want to grate your carrots and chop up a red onion. You can use a white onion if you want. If you want to be extra autumnal, you can add a chopped up brownie apple as well. I didn't have any, so I didn't add any. And just add the mayo and leave it as is. I like to add some organic apple cider vinegar. That it almost cooks the cabbage, or cooks not the right word. It really works well in this dish. And then I add some demerara sugar and mix it all together because the sugar takes away a bit of that tartness. You want to stir that. You want to make that about an hour before the dinner, just to let the apple cider vinegar do its thing to the cabbage. And yeah, meanwhile that's the coleslaw done. Super duper easy and simple. Now I'm going to cook my peas. I literally just get my frozen petit pois, pour them into hot water, let them do their thing, and I'm going to add mint sauce to them. Mint sauce you can get from ALDI. They're from the ALDI specially selected range. It's absolutely delicious. And then toast your pita breads and serve up. That really is it. So the chips have been cooking for about 30 minutes, and serve up with a big dose of your coleslaw. Oh, it's such a good dinner. We absolutely love this dinner. A very rewarding dish because although there's lots of elements to it, it's not actually that difficult to make at all. Okay, next thing we're doing is my chicken shish kebab. I love making chicken kebabs or vegan kebabs, and it's definitely a great fakeaway meal. So the first thing you want to do is actually marinate the chicken. You can do this like first thing in the morning or even the night before. So you want to marinate your chicken with the Greek yogurt, some garlic paste and your spices. So today we're using garlic paste, we're using turmeric, and we're also using paprika. If you have like normal paprika, use that actually goes better rather than smoked, but I think I only had smoked paprika this day. And I do add a touch of cumin powder as well. Then one of my favourite tricks to do is to chop up an onion as small as you can and then let it marinate with the chicken as well. It just goes really well. It adds like another depthy flavour. So that was first thing in the morning, and then later on in the day, just before eating, I'm going to prepare the salad for our kebab. So it's sort of similar actually to a coleslaw. So you can chop up some red cabbage, peel and grate your carrots and also onion, and let that wilt for a little while with a bit of apple cider vinegar. And yeah, it's basically a coleslaw recipe, which is great because we get to use all the ingredients that we've already purchased. So it's basically a coleslaw recipe without the mayo. The chicken I'm going to cook on high for about 20 to 30 minutes, but as I said, I always just check throughout the cooking process how cooked it is, how well done it is. I'm also adding some leftover lemons that were in my fridge to the salad. And as you can see, Oren is helping, which is great. He loves to help. You can see his tongue sticking out. It's just too cute. So now the chicken is ready. You want to get your pita bread. To be fair, I actually prefer this in a wrap. It's so lovely in a wrap. You want to slice up your chicken into small slices and serve it on a pita bread. Lawrence and I were doing a sharing plate this evening. So we'd put Oren to bed, we were doing a sharing plate, having a glass of wine. It was really nice. So I just made like one large portion. But as you can you see how the cabbage has braised? Is it braised? Oh, gosh, honestly, sleep deprivation. But the cabbage has worked wonders with the apple cider vinegar. So yeah, load up your salad and put whatever sauces you like. I'm using chili jam and normal mayo on the side because we like a bit of both, to be fair. And it's a really delicious, easy kebab. And I always finish it off with some more lemon juice, just because lemon juice is the best. Okay, we're also making a red Thai curry. This one is super Super easy. I can't even tell you how easy this dish is. It can all be whipped up in about 30 minutes, if that. I switch between making this a veggie dish with the aubergine and a chicken dish. Today we're using aubergine. I am going to just slice up the aubergine into 1 centimetre thickness. I do leave the skin on. It cooks absolutely fine with the skin. It keeps its texture as well. The only bit of skin I remove is where the sticker was from the supermarket. Give it a really good wash and chop into even-sized chunks. The next thing you want to do is spread it out evenly on a baking tray, just making sure there's no layers, just in case some don't roast properly. Drizzle with your oil of choice. I'm using olive oil, and put a healthy dose of salt on there. Then you're going to roast that in the oven for about 20 minutes. Do keep an eye on it after the 15-minute mark though, because it does cook very quickly, but about 20 minutes at 180 degrees. Then I'm just going to prepare the sauce for the curry. So the first thing I'm going to do is chop up my red onion. I'm also throwing some mushrooms into this dish just because I had them left over in the fridge that needed eating, but that is completely optional. So I'm going to add my garlic and ginger. I'm just using pastes today. Fry those together with some olive oil with the red onion until the red onion has softened. And then once the red onion has started to soften, you can add your mushrooms. Just let that all fry together for a bit, for about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, until you can start adding your paste. So I've got the red Thai curry paste from Tesco. I am popping to an Asian supermarket soon, and I'm hoping to get a much bigger jar. The pre-made red Thai curry kit from ALDI is absolutely brilliant. You don't need your paste, you can add your seasonings if you do have them, otherwise the kit is absolutely fine. And then you want to add your coconut milk together and just let that cook for about 10-15 minutes, if that, to be honest, just making sure it just warms up nice and slowly. You don't want to warm it too quickly. Warms up nice and slowly, and then once the aubergine has roasted, put the aubergine with it and mix, stir, leave for 5 to 10 minutes. Such an easy dish. Meanwhile, I've been cooking the rice just as I normally cook rice, and hey presto, it's all going to be ready. It's such a quick dinner, but it's so rewarding. You can add a little bit of extra spice just to make it extra spicy. I know the kits from ALDI come with a dried chilli as well, which is a very spicy chilli, so you can add spice if you're buying the kit, but I really would recommend just like picking up the paste and just having the paste in your kitchen. I'm topping mine with sesame seeds. I would have toasted these, but I was in a little bit of a rush this day. And yeah, absolute delicious dinner. We all enjoy it, including Oren. I really hope you've enjoyed this week of meals. I've enjoyed making them. See you guys making them and sharing your pictures with me. I love seeing them. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to see you guys again very, very soon. Bye!